NNPC eyes 422 billion naira from 6 IOCs in August. Petroleum Resources Ministry officials taxed on gas supply challenges. Why OPEC Plus may cut production. Hello and welcome to Value Chain News. I am Naomi Oleribe. 6 international oil companies are to remit a total of 442.37 billion naira in August 2022, being proceeds from the sale of domestic crude in May 2022. Figures obtained from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company (NNPC) Limited on Monday has shown. NNPC explained that the 422.37 billion naira was for 8.887 million barrels of oil for May 2022 domestic crude payable in August 2022, adding that the 6 companies were joint venture partners of the National Oil Company. It outlined the companies to include Chevron Nigeria Limited, Mobil Producing Nigeria, and Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, the flagship upstream subsidiary of NNPC. Others include Total Exploration and Production Nigeria, First Exploration and Production, as well as Adax Petroleum. NNPC makes remittances from crude oil sale to the Federation accounts, which are shared by the 3 tiers of government monthly. However, it has not been able to make remittances since this year due to the huge amount it spends on the subsidy of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol. The director overseeing the Office of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, Mr. Kamoru Busari, has charged the officials in the gas department and key stakeholders in the gas sector to proffer solutions to the identified challenges in the sector. Busari stated that when the challenge is surmounted, it will facilitate the country's desire to be a regional gas supply hub with concurrent presence in the domestic, regional and export markets. He spoke in Abuja at the one-day stakeholders engagement on the optimization of gas infrastructure with the team, the Optimization of Gas Infrastructure Blueprint, organized by the Gas Department of the Ministry. In his address, Busari noted that there was the urgent need for gas infrastructure development in Nigeria to monetize its gas resources through gas to power locally and gas exports to African countries and Europe. The development of gas infrastructure also aligns with the thrust of the National Gas Policy, which is to move Nigeria from an oil-based economy to oil and gas-based industrial economy, he said. He emphasized that in view of the National Energy Transition Policy of Nigeria to have zero carbon emission by 2060 and the declaration of year 2021 to 2030 as the decade of gas, infrastructure optimization remained critical. The ministry, he said, has made history by holding this stakeholders meeting on gas infrastructure optimization and assured them of continuous engagement in the future. Saudi Arabian Energy Minister Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman said extreme volatility and lack of liquidity mean the future market is increasingly disconnected from fundamentals and OPEC Plus may be forced to cut production. He said this in response to written questions from Bloomberg News. Prince Abdulaziz represents the largest oil producer in OPEC Plus and is arguably the most important player in the 23-nation alliance. He said future prices don't reflect the underlying fundamentals of supply and demand, which may require the group to tighten production when it meets next month to consider output targets. Witnessing this recent harmful volatility disturb the basic functions of the market and undermine the stability of oil markets will only strengthen our resolve, he said. In Libya now, Libya's oil production is now at 1.211 million barrels per day, according to the country's National Oil Corporation (NOC), a level last seen before the port blockades that began this spring. Libya's oil production have been recovering ever since the blockade was lifted in the middle of July. Production was over 1.2 million barrels on Sunday, NOC said in a statement. Higher supply from Libya will ease upward pressures on oil prices, which have been falling in the recent days amid fears of recession and expectation that a nuclear deal with Iran could be reached if an agreement is struck. This will pave the way to 1 million barrels per day of oil from the Islamic Republic returning to the market. The force majeure severely crippled Libya's oil exports following weeks of protests and closures amid the new rifts in Libya's political class over who should be governing the country. In business now, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council (NEPC) has advised Nigerians to focus more on non-oil exports for the country's economic survival. NEPC Executive Director Ezra Yakusak made the call during the week following ongoing efforts to revive the economy. He said, if you want Nigeria to change, if you want Nigeria to survive, if you want to see this country economically viable, we have to embark on non-oil exports. That is the only way we can get our foreign exchange. Mr. Yakusak emphasized that this will generate employment and develop industries to make Nigeria great again, while reiterating the importance of value chain development in Plateau State regarding its One State, One Product initiative. Mr. Yakusak sympathized with potato farmers over the recent blight disease which ravaged farms. He called on all stakeholders in Plateau's potato business to join with NEPC for the necessary support and training they would require. The One State, One Product initiative is part of the federal government's efforts to boost exports and diversify the economy. And now, let's have a quick look at oil prices and exchange rates today. And that's the oil prices and exchange rates today. Ensure to follow us on all our social media platforms via Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. While you are at it, do not forget to subscribe to our official YouTube handle to gain first access to all our news and content. And that's the news for today. I am Naomi Oleribe. Good afternoon.